Parole denied for Susan Smith. In 1994, Smith killed her two young boys, Michael and Alex, in Union County. She claimed they were kidnapped, but 9 days later confessed that she rolled her car into that lake with the boys inside.
Serving a sentence of life in prison, she became eligible for parole today. Ultimately, a board denied her parole unanimously. 7 News' Taylor Farmer is in Columbia with more. Taylor.
Convicted murderer Susan Smith began her statement to the parole board crying, stating that she loved her sons, Michael and Alex. Her ex-husband, David Smith, also crying, pleaded to the court, begging that they keep the woman responsible for his son's death behind bars. Emotional.
She came pretty close to causing me to end my life because of the grief that she brought upon me.
David Smith, ex-husband of Susan Smith, stood by her side in 1994 while she lied to everyone she knew, including him. He said 30 years in prison for killing his sons is not nearly long enough. He says the emotional damage she caused him, family and friends, the community, and those around the country will never be forgotten.
Ultimately, to me, that's only 15 years per child, her own children. It's just not enough.
David Smith says he believes Susan is still the person she was 30 years ago and says she has never expressed any remorse. Susan told the board she knows what she did was horrible.
And I would give anything if I could go back and change it. And I love Michael and Alex with all my heart.
The board asked Smith about getting in trouble several times while behind bars. They asked her if she is not following the rules inside their institution, why would she follow the rules in the outside world?
I know I made a lot of mistakes in here, and I have learned from them. And before this last infraction had been 10 years, because I grew up and I knew that I needed to stop making dumb decisions.
More than 10 people stood in front of the committee asking members to not fall for Smith's lies, as many people did 30 years ago, and asking them to not grant her parole.
I know she wants a chance to be free after only serving 30 years. No.
Punishment has not been achieved yet, and so I would ask you to deny parole.
So to help give this family some peace, it would be best if Susan stayed behind bars and stay in prison for the rest of her life.
She should never be released, and she should not be released now. His hopes and dreams were dashed. I hope you dash hers today and every 2 years hereafter.
Thank you so much.
Smith was not granted parole. The board denied that unanimously. She will have another chance to make her case in 2026 after 30 years of her life, eligible for parole every 2 years. Live in Columbia, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
Taylor, thank you for your coverage. Smith is currently being held at the Lee Correctional Institution in Greenwood.